Well, whenever they're held, the G8 and G20 summits always make headline news. And now students from around the world have gathered to take part in their own versions of the summits in the US Capitol. The delegations include all G20 members and a large delegation from China. And they're discussing all the key international issues their peers face. CCTV's Nina Donaghy explains.
I hear the Nats have been getting you guys, huh?
The official G8 was last month at Camp David, and the real G20 takes place next week in Mexico. But just as important, a youth-orientated version taking place in Washington, D.C. Hosted by George Washington University, 150 students from the G8 and G20 member states held their own summit, tackling parallel world issues. Among the countries taking part, delegates from India, China, Australia, France and Brazil.
The youth has a really great potential to bring creativity, innovation, different skills, different abilities that we as youngsters from all over the world have.
The French delegation working hard on a communiqué that will be issued at the summit's close and given to the attention of the real G20 leaders next week.
Yeah, the final communiqué is written all this week by the different delegates in different committees, social, network, environment, policies, in development, for example. And at the end of the day, this committee will be given to the head of state and government in the Los Cabos G20 next month.
All addressing the same global issues as their more seasoned counterparts and bringing fresh ideas to old problems.
I think today is really interesting because we're discussing green growth, something which has become extremely important, especially after the economic crisis.
All of the delegation are the students in universities, and maybe they are lack of the experience, but they are very passionate.
Various committees met around the central Washington campus, but all eyes were on the heads of state meeting, as serious and focused as their real counterparts on the world stage, trying to find a solution to Syria.
The UN Special Envoy to Syria is a situational solution to a structural problem.
Addressing the problems of developing economies.
We need to have an international platform for resolution of energy and water conflicts.
And China's acting head of state talked about the pressures of the job.
To represent China's delegation in a summit such as G20 really takes a lot of pressure, and you need to take on a lot of responsibilities because, as we all know, that China is now the emerging power of the whole world, so it does need China's voices, especially the voices from the youth.
Nina Donaghy, CCTV, Washington.